the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the June meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. I am Jim Burtis, and we'll start with roll call of the board members. Wendy?
Here.
Mark is absent. Marianne is absent. I'm here. And Keith? Here. And we have our counsel, Rich Krogan, along with Sixto, representing Public Works, and Martina. All right. What I'd like to do is move along to approval of the March 2024 ZBA minutes. Can I have a motion on that? That would be Wendy. Second. Followed by a second from Keith. All in favor? Aye. We have 3 members present, which constitutes a quorum. If we are to vote on any applicants this evening, it must be passed unanimously. If the applicant chooses to hold off until board members are present, please let us know when you submit your application and speak about it. Our first applicant of the evening is not here yet, so we'll go ahead and skip the first applicant. And
Jim, before you do that, Martina, have we heard anything from the first applicant?
No, I have not.
Okay, I know that there was some conversation with Mr. Martinez, and the applicant was advised to provide some engineering
documents with the setbacks to the building and the proposed building.
Okay, and we haven't received those, right?
No, they didn't mail it, no.
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, maybe we'll put that after our next application, see if they do show up.
fair enough, thank you. So we'll go ahead and move along to the application for 137 Linden Avenue. I understand we already have an open public hearing on that matter, correct?
That's correct.
So we'll go ahead and resume that public hearing. And I don't see
Well,
anyone.
maybe the applicant can come up and reacquaint the board with his project since it's been a while.
How are you, Chairman?
Hi there, thank you for coming.
This application was submitted about a year ago. I have a big building, but it's about more than 14,000 square foot. Right now, I only have one apartment. So I wish I can get a more apartment approved, or if not, I would try to get the a non-owner occupier get approved, so I can rent another apartment out to cover my cost. So we spent a lot of money for that building, almost 7 years. So every year I lost money. So I submit all the tax return, every tax return to Martina. So.
Okay, and this property is located in the OR2 zone, which means that it would have to be owner occupied. So you're requesting the board for a use variance of that.
Yes.
And Martina, we received his financials,
Yes.
the tax returns. Thank you. So it's a continuation of a public hearing.
Yes. Do any of the board members have any questions for the applicant?
Now, before we close the public hearing, the applicant should advise if he would want us to take a vote at this point. Otherwise, the public hearing would be kept open. Understanding that we have enough, there are 5 board members, 3 are present, which gives us the quorum. But in order to pass a resolution, you would need all 3 board members to vote in your favor. Would you like the board to make a decision tonight?
Yeah, if possible, yeah.
Okay. The public hearing is still open, so we'd need a motion to close the public hearing if the board is satisfied with the information that they've received.
Well, I do have a question for the applicant. Would it be feasible for you to rent out your facility to another congregation?
I wish, yeah, but so far, some people want to, church guy can want to come, but, not get the confirmation yet. So.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, there is no documentation to show that there was an effort to rent it out to any organization or for any other use. There's only tax returns that were provided.
Okay.
Wendy has a question as well.
Go ahead.
Have you listed your property, like with a realtor, to try and obtain a tenant for the building?
Yeah, I do, but no tenants come to for like a, except residential people.
Okay. And is this the same building?
There's
that
no
had
documentation,
violations?
I'm sorry, there's no documentation in the record to show that it was listed with the realtor
I
for
can
rent
print
to
out,
anyone.
yeah, I do. My broker do put a list online, but I can print out the give to Martina. But
Martina, do you have those documents?
yeah, this because nobody asked me for that. If you ask me for that, I will print out.
Well, you're supposed to provide that to the board.
That would
I'm
be
sorry.
part of your application process. And I would like to clarify the listings that you made or you claim that you made. Were those for residential units or for, commercial type units?
Residential. I
Residential.
just need one more residential for rent out, cover my cost.
Okay. Have you considered listing the property for something other than residential?
It's hard. Church need more works. I want to, if I rent the apartment out, I can make money to, continue to fix the church floor. Mr. Martinez saw that we just hang on there. So I can't do anything. We don't have enough money to do that.
Okay.
Have you thought about moving into the premises?
Not now. Maybe, I just want to finish that first.
But if you moved into it, then it would be permitted as owner occupied. And whatever you're spending someplace else, you would be saving by moving in.
But my family don't want to move there. So we're living outside of the Middletown.
Did you have
Okay.
another question?
I believe from the last meeting, there was multiple open violations on this building, if I'm thinking of the right.
The only violation that's on right now would be the stop work order, which he has stopped doing any kind of work inside the building. Okay. He has a rental permit for the single family.
I also want to convey that a large part of the city's rebirth has been happening because of the fact that owners have become more involved in their investments and in the properties in the city of Middletown. So there may be some reluctance to grant this type of request, and we would like, or at least I as a member of the board, would like you to explore other alternatives other than using this mechanism if possible. So would you be open to commercially listing a rental unit at your place for a permitted use within the dwelling? If I'm saying that correctly, counsel.
Yeah, as long as it's a permitted use in the OR2 zone.
Do you think you'd be able to work on that?
Yeah, but still, if I can get one more apartment for rent, that would be appreciated. Of course, I can rent them downstairs for the church, but the issue is I need the money to fix them.
I don't see that as a concern of this board.
Well, Mr. Chairman, if we could go through the application with respect to the applicant cannot realize a reasonable return provided that lack of return is substantial as demonstrated by competent financial evidence. The applicant has submitted tax returns, but hasn't shown that he's tried to sell the property so that he can get a reasonable return, or that he's tried to have it rented for another use that would be permitted. The second part, B, is the alleged hardship relating to the property in question is unique and does not apply to a substantial portion of the district or neighborhood. The property is unique in that it is a church, big and spacious, but it is still in an OR2 zone, and the applicant hasn't demonstrated that he's applied to obtain a permitted use there. The requested use variance, if granted, will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. The neighborhood is an OR2 zone, owner occupied, so it would change or alter the essential character of the neighborhood. And the alleged hardship has not been self-created. Clearly it has. When he bought the property, he knew what he was buying. The Board of Appeals, in granting of a use variance, shall grant the minimum variance that it shall deem necessary and adequate to address the unnecessary hardship proven by the applicant, at the same time preserve and protect the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community. It's a four-part test, and a use variance is very difficult to obtain, and you would have to be able to answer all of the questions, and I don't believe the applicant has, but that's the decision of the board.
What I'd also like to offer to you is, rather than examining the application with the three members present tonight, I would ask of you that you consider deferring a decision at this meeting to give you an opportunity to better accomplish the request Mr. Krogan outlined this evening, and come back to us at a future meeting, being ready to discuss what you've achieved or accomplished between now and then. Is that something you'd be open to doing?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
If the board is inclined to do that, then the public hearing must stay open.
All right. So I'd like to make a motion to keep the public hearing open on the application for 137 Linden Avenue. And would someone like to second that motion? So second by Wendy. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Thank you very much.
You know what you have to do.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Martina, have we heard anything from our other applicant? Sure thing. We'll take a brief intermission. Welcome back to the June meeting of City of Middletown Zoning Board of Appeals. We have with us tonight our applicant from 129 Winchester Avenue. There would be an area variance for an addition to an existing dwelling. At this time, I'd like to call up the applicant, Melissa Farmer. If you could step forward towards the microphone and give us a little recap of what you're asking for here.
Hello, good evening, and excuse my lateness. Thank you for still seeing my case today. So I would like to add an addition to the backyard of my home. Now, I have a pretty sizable backyard. My lot is actually 29. The formal address is 29-31. Okay. So I believe it's formally a double lot. The thing is, I didn't want to impede on the middle of my backyard, so I figured the addition I could build on either side of the home. The home is this way, and to build an addition on this side and this side of the home, so that I still have the entire middle ground of yard to play with. The addition would be, one side would be a recreational room and an additional bedroom on the right side of the home. Am I answering the question how you wanted me to?
So,
Because I see you looking.
yeah, we'd first off like to inform you that usually this is a 5-person board. So if our board was to make a determination tonight on your application or any application, it would need to be unanimous to move it forward.
Understood.
So typically, we offer the applicant an opportunity to come back when there are more members of the board present. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping I wanted to lay out for you. The other thing I'd like to do is to ask you if you've had any architects or engineers produce any blueprints or stamped drawings outlining your renovation and your goals.
Yes, me and my husband was working with an architect. We was working with them for a few months, actually, going back and forth, because initially we were thinking about building up, and we decided to build out. We reached out to him to get the final drawings. Well, we've been reaching out for the last 2 weeks, and we didn't get an answer. We knew that he was in the hospital a week prior. His son responded to the text message saying that he passed away this past Saturday. And he's submitted many of things. He's told me he's well known here. So I'm really saddened that he passed away. I only known him for a few months, but he worked with us intensely and gave us so many good ideas. So now we're without an architect to do the final drawings.
Okay? What I'd like to offer to you is the opportunity to come back with a complete set of drawings. This way we can make an informed decision on your request. Is that something you'd be open to doing?
I would be, but would the drawings that I submitted, would that not be suffice?
Mr. Martinez, would you like to comment on that?
I had spoken to Mr. Welch. He wanted something that stated the actual additions on the property itself, and we did not receive anything of that nature.
The blueprint that I, is it, let me see, hold on a second. This, they didn't get this?
That's not what you are doing, right? You are changing it.
Yeah, the only difference.
So I believe what the I believe what the building department is asking for is engineered or architectural plans for them to review.
I'm a little, inexperienced in this area, so is this what I submitted? Is this not architectural drawings?
No, it's not.
Okay.
What was submitted was handwritten. That's not an engineer or architectural plan.
Oh, but did they see this one?
Oh, this is not what you want though. You are changing this.
Yeah. Okay, okay. I just want to make sure that that you guys have all the information that I have in front of me. Did everyone see this drawing?
I don't have a copy of that. Does the building department?
This one? Is that an architect? I don't know. Is that an architectural drawing? That's the one that I submitted.
This is a layout of the building. It does not, there's a couple spots where it shows property lines, but it is not stamped. So we need something stamped, okay?
Okay. As long as I know exactly what to get and what to ask for and the verbiage that I use when I'm requesting it, then I can come back and be better prepared. Like I said, I have no idea what I'm asking for. I thought this was what.
Sure, and just on the area variance, the application that you have, I think you're going to have your engineer or architect look at that because it's not making sense. You have a setback that you're asking for with the required dimension. Required means what the building department needs, and you have 30 feet there, and you have actual dimension of 67.2, which would mean that you have more than enough, but then you have variance requested 20 feet. Then on sideline, you have required 5 feet, actual 17, and requesting 4 feet. So the numbers are not making sense, so you're gonna have to have somebody look at that,
Okay.
all right? And then resubmit the application.
Would it be another fee?
Well, you can amend the application. The public hearing, we would have to open the public hearing and then keep it open while the applicant does the necessary work.
And the board is willing to work with you on that,
Okay.
all right? We don't want to see you apply multiple times when it can just be done once properly, all right?
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think you want to open the public hearing at this point, and then if anybody's here from the public, invite them up, and if not, just keep it open, make a motion to keep it open, and then for the applicant to make the necessary changes.
Fair enough. So I'd like to ask the board for a motion to open the public hearing on the application for Winchester Avenue before us this evening. Would someone like to make that motion? Wendy? And seconded by Keith. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay. And then we'd
If
like,
there's anyone from the public wishing to come forth,
please step forward if you have anything to add. Alderman Kleiner?
Hello.
if you can just step to the side for a minute.
Sure.
Microphone. I just have one question. The agenda says 129 Winchester, which there is no such thing. So
Yeah, so the applicant just
29.
clarified for us that would be 29-31 Winchester. So that would be reflected on future paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Kleiner. All right, so motion to keep the public hearing open for the 29-31 Winchester Avenue application. Motion made by Wendy, seconded by Keith. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. So what we'll do is we'll keep this public hearing and application open, give you an opportunity to take care of whatever paperwork needs exist. You could communicate with Martina, and when you're ready, let us know, and we'll schedule the next meeting.
And obviously send it to Mr. Martinez so he can take a look as well.
Okay, thank you. So I just need, before I leave, his email so I can send it before.
Okay. If you wait, he'll provide it to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this evening.
You're welcome. All right. Is there any other business to be brought before the board? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion to adjourn. Made by Wendy, seconded by Keith. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Have a good evening. Stay cool, everyone.